They say we arrive at haqiqah, but that haqiqah, we see that in different religions differ. So it's again an experience of haqiqah which should be guided by Sharia. Now, I'm very happy hearing Ali Hussein saying that we are bound to Sharia. Well, this is not something that anyone has denied. And if ulama say that hanak is mustahab, but they do not practice it, you should ask them why. They are religious people. There may be other reasons for not, when they give a fatwa, when they issue a fatwa, they do not practice it, there should be a reason for it. And especially, Ali Hussein, when it becomes an issue, it may become haram rather than mustahab. You know this is Sharia. I don't say it has become haram, but when something becomes an issue, then you have to take it seriously. Now, I tell you, hanak is mustahab. What I'm trying to do here, you see, I'm not confrontational, Abbas. I'm not trying to somehow confront or oppose you. What I'm saying is that hanak is mustahab. Unity is wajib. Hanak is mustahab. Respect for elders is wajib. Hanak is mustahab. Respect for the community is wajib. When you see that these come to opposition to each other, why should you insist on something mustahab to leave these wajibat? As I said, I'm not judging who's right, who's wrong. I'm saying what I expect from you as people of Irfan is more than others. What I expect that you would sacrifice is more than others to sacrifice, because others may be ordinary people. You are, first of all, students of religion. Secondly, you are treading the path of Allah. The path of Allah should be accompanied with sakina, with softness, with forgiveness. From others, we don't expect that if we slap them in the right cheek, they bring forth the left cheek. But from you, we expect it. وَيَدْرَؤُونَ بِالْحَسَنَةِ السَّيِّئَةِ. From you, we expect al-kadhibin al-ghayz wal-afina an nas. But now, of course, this is what I see is not the trend which is going on.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Firstly, we thank Samahat al-Shaykh for his good opinion of us, and inshallah we pray that is true. I just want to make one point clear, that this line of inquiry creates certain dangerous social precedents. For example, if a community boycotts something, then on the basis of that boycott, if we have to leave it, then we're really held hostage to the ways of the community. For example, someone prays Salat al-Layl at night, and all of a sudden, on a whim, people say, no, we shouldn't do that, and a hoo-ha is created. If we had to say purely because there's a controversy and a stir, we must leave things on the basis of what is important and more important, muhim and aham, then we can become hostage to that. So I think that yes, that there is virtue in that. One should have regard to social consideration. But if it's our only approach to deciding things, then we'll become hostage to many social tendencies. The beard, for example, may now become something which should be socially marginalized. If we go on the basis of what majoritarianism says, and we leave it, then we are hostage to that. So I think we need to have different viewpoints when it comes to a matter, and not say, because unity is more important, we have to drop other important matters. Because a lot of people, in fact, don't have an issue with the hanak. Most people are quite indifferent. So I think this is a dangerous tendency. And the other point is that, like Samahat al-Shaykh said about cheap words, we should be careful of using plastic terminologies. For example, this is anger, this is going against tranquility, this is ostentatious. These are very, from a Gramscian perspective, very politicized words. Because if you label a person like this, then they're in a tight corner. What do? They either acknowledge it or they deny it. If they deny it, they're at fault. If they acknowledge it, you blame them anyway. So this is what is called for logicians the fallacy of bifurcation. This is, you're with us or against us. So if you're against us, you're in trouble. If you're with us, you have to drop all your ways. So we should be always very self-conscious with knowledge. Know that knowledge is not something free of political motivation. Not to point fingers, but we must be careful that always we should be subtle in our use of terminology. Because this is angry, this is X, this is Y, this is Z, then we're hostage to those who control the discourse.
Thanks.
I would just like to add,
Yeah.
I have been wearing the hanak for 3 years now. And by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I have traveled to many different places and visited many different communities. I have visited the Maraji wearing the hanak. I have been in Qom wearing the hanak. There has not been issues about wearing the hanak till somebody sat on that mimbar in Stanmore and gave that speech. We have been praised by ulama in Qom for wearing the hanak. Ihya as-Sunnah. We have been praised by Maraji for Ihya as-Sunnah by wearing the hanak. So just because some people, a handful of people in the community say, take it off, we should listen to them. Imam Ali alayhi salam says, An-nas a'da'u ma jahilu, that man becomes the enemy of what he or she is ignorant of.
Just to wrap up on that question, seeing that Sheikh Bahmanpour asked me quite specifically, allow me to tell you, Sheikh Bahmanpour, firstly, with regards to the things that you felt you should have seen in us that you do not see in us, we also feel that there are a lot of etiquettes that we should see in our teachers, and especially yourself, having known us for a long time, that I personally have not seen today, but my akhlaq and the upbringing of my parents does not allow me to mention this to you in a public gathering. Secondly, with regards to the hanak, if I believed sincerely that the confusion in our community was caused due to the hanak, no, I'm telling Sheikh Bahmanpour very politely. I'm telling Sheikh Bahmanpour very politely.
Brothers.
I'm telling Sheikh Bahmanpour very politely.
Brothers.
No.
Brothers.
You just sit down. Ghulam, I see you shouting, please. That is not right. And Ghulam.
What am I doing wrong? A senior scholar here is being insulted by a young boy. He's not being insulted. He's not being insulted.
No, Ghulam. Abbas bhai. In fact, the next, please, can we all please sit down, please?
محمد وآل محمد صلوات.
No, I will not.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Anyone gets up and shout, I will have my volunteers remove you from the hall. And I mean it. Please. Okay. In fact, the next question from the text is, dear Sheikh Abbas, you speak about respect for teachers. Does this include previous teachers? Do you then still respect Sheikh Bahmanpour as you respect your current teacher? What it is trying to say is, Sheikh Bahmanpour has been your teacher, and you still respect him?
Sheikh Bahmanpour was my teacher for 1 year at ICAS, and I have benefited from Sheikh Bahmanpour, and I respect Sheikh Bahmanpour. But that does not mean I may agree with the opinions of Sheikh Bahmanpour, and yet I still respect Sheikh Bahmanpour.
Okay, Brother Abbas Jafar, do you want to come and say something up from here, please, rather than shout from there? Can you please? Can you give him the mic, please? We have to respect Sheikh Abbas Jafar. We know that he does recite Majlis. So, and then if somebody else wants to say it, Ghulam, whoever, I will put your hands up and I promise I'll give you a chance. No shouting, please.
Before we ask the question, can we please maintain a civilized audience, please? And can we please recite a large salawat so that the bit of fresh air is received and we all cool down? Nari salawat.
I appreciate this is very emotive and all this. What disturbs me highly is that any attempt to criticize behavior is met with a backlash which does not respect any boundaries. There is no sacred, there is nothing that cannot be argued against. It is my contention that if we were to bring a fatwa of Sayyid Sistani, right, again, up to now, Sayyid Sistani, Damadullah, has been mentioned as an authority because it is still unclear what he says about this whole manhaj. But if he came down heavily on the side of it, I can guarantee you that he will be the next person who is marginalized. Bahmanpour, the reason I'm angry with Ali Hussain is not because I don't know him, it's because I know him that I'm angry. If I didn't know him, why should I be angry? I know he's a student of Bahmanpur for more than a year, for many years. And for you to speak in this manner and say, I'm not going to say anything personal because I respect you, even that should not come out, at least not in public. Outside, we can say to each other whatever we want. That is why I got angry, because it did not behove you to a man who has taught you many things. That is all. So what I'm trying to say is that, why do I find this kind of entrenchedness that the moment we put one thing up your way, that person is thrown away as if he doesn't matter? I can show you a fatwa of Ayatollah Sistani, and that is a fatwa of Ayatollah Sistani. Okay? He has said that those who walk around with sticks and hanak bazimi kunad, that is a fatwa of Sayyid Sistani. Now, if it is proved that those who walk around with a stick and hanak are playing games, what will you say? If I actually prove it categorically that he has said it, will you stop? Will you, he's your marja? Will you say, I don't want to be playing games in front of my marja, and he has said it, so I will stop? No, you will not stop. There will be something else. Right? Wahid also, he has said that this manhaj, the fatwa I have seen, the fatwa you quote, he says it's allowed in salat, and there is no harm in doing it outside salat. When he was asked specifically about people who wear this as a full time, his fatwa is quite different. He actually disparages it. And we have that in writing again from his office. So, will you stop? No. This is what worries me. That's all.
Ahsan.
Okay.
If I can answer, Dr.
Hold on, please, hold on. Can you hold on? Ghulam, do you want to say the same in a nice, like Abbas Bhai did it, please?
Can I remind you all that this is an Imam Bara, and please maintain full respect.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. My objection of the gentleman getting up and saying, you are not doing justice to Sheikh Bahmanpur. We respect Sheikh Bahmanpur, and we respect him, and we know him before you knew him. So there was no question of respect. You should have given him a chance to finish before you interrupt him. This is not professional. This is not ethical. That's all my contention.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Liaquat, can we answer the question?
Can you hold on? Do you want to say something?
Can we answer the question from Abbas uncle?
Yeah, and try to keep it, because we're another 20 minutes.
Sure.
So keep the answer a bit short, please, right? Because there are so many here, and so many want to ask. Ya Allah, Bismillah.
Allah is my witness that in the same way as Sheikh Bahmanpur mentioned, that he does not expect certain actions from us. And this was correct, this was respectful. He mentioned in a very respectful way, according to yourself. That's why you didn't stand up when Sheikh Bahmanpur said this. That I felt that I should have seen certain actions from you which I didn't see. In the very same manner, because Sheikh Bahmanpur has been my teacher for 7 years or so, I too expect certain things from my teachers. For example, to meet my own teacher, to discuss with him, to meet us collectively, to discuss with us, and to listen from us. These are basic etiquettes that we all require from each other. I'm not going to go in more detail, like I said. In the same way Sheikh Bahmanpur respectfully mentioned that he feels he should have seen some things from us, I too feel, not only from Sheikh Bahmanpur, from other teachers of mine who are also sitting in the crowd, that I should have seen certain etiquettes or certain actions which I do not see from them, and I expect this from them. This is then for me to speak to them in private about. As for whether or not if Sayyid Sistani was to write a fatwa with regards to the hanak or the asa, allow me to make it very clear that firstly the fatwa, which isn't a fatwa is with regards to halal, haram, makruh, mubah, mustahab. What Sayyid Sistani has not written, because it was his son, Sayyid Muhammad Rida, who wrote the edict or the piece of paper that you see before you, Sayyid Sistani only stamped it and wrote his name on it. What has been written there, if it came from Sayyid Sistani, when I was sitting there and I put forward my point and somebody else put forward their point, he is my marja, I would listen to him. If I was to put forward my point, as is mentioned on his website himself, Sayyid Sistani mentions that he won't give any edict with regards to a dispute between two people until he meets both of them. He hasn't heard my side. What he has heard is that in our community, people have become confused and split due to the hanak. Sheikh Muhammad Rida wore the hanak for 1 year when we were in Iran. There was no split in the community. Please do not be fooled that saying that this split is with regards to the hanak and a piece of stick. A stick, a piece of wood, and a piece of cloth around my neck cannot disunite thousands of people. What will disunite thousands of people is the manner in which the mimbar is used in a manner against what the Ahlul Bayt